Hi. Alright, today I'm going to be talking about Capricorn. And well, Capricorn is a pragmatic sign. The third earth sign, and feminine in its gender qualities. All earth signs are feminine, right? And that's because it's a nurturing energy and a receiving, nurturing sort of energy. And I'm going to make videos about the definitions of the terminology applied to astrology eventually. So once that video is already out, go to my channel and look for the terminology definitions videos, and you'll find what we mean by feminine and masculine in astrology. Alright, so yeah, Capricorn is pragmatic. So that means that they see the value in the realness or viability to do things right in the material world. That's another definition word. That's another terminology. The real world. What we mean by the real world is whatever we can touch and perceive with our five senses. So whenever you hear me saying things like material or real, it's basically the same thing, and it means that it's in this, the real world is this world that we can perceive with our five senses, and then that in contrast to the subtle world, which is like the world of emotions and intuition that we can't really perceive with our touch. And yeah, so Capricorn is really all about the material world. It's the third earth sign, which means that they already learned the lessons behind Taurus and Virgo. They're very, very intuitive. Yeah, they haven't just learned the lessons between Taurus and Virgo, they've also learned all the lessons that come up all the way to Capricorn. So that's a lot of learned lessons already. So Capricorn is very, very wise, and it learned, right? Because it graduated from the Taurus and Virgo lessons, where Capricorn learns how to collect matter for food and shelter and survival processes, which is the Taurus, and then how to maintain systems, how machinery works, how the processes work, and the importance of details and cleanliness, right, which is the Virgo lessons. So after learning those lessons, along with all the other lessons from all the other signs that Capricorn has already gone through, Capricorn became so wise. So that's one of the things that we really love about Capricorns, is just how wise they are. And here it's a good time to mention that they're associated with Saturn. So we're gonna hear Capricorn and Saturn have a lot of the same key phrases and values. Saturn is the planet of time, patience, of structure, wisdom, and discipline, which is basically the same things that Capricorn stands for. And it's all these lessons are kind of dry, really, and it really gives Capricorn these serious demeanor and zero tolerance for bullshit attitude. But don't be fooled by the closed off and distant appearance of Capricorn. Capricorn's true happiness lies with nurturing and sharing love, right? Because Capricorn is the opposite of Cancer, and Cancer and Capricorn really rule the same thing, which is family. So the reason why you see that Capricorns are so obsessed with getting all this like material world into place, it's because they understand the need of the material holding to place the family, right? They know that if they're gonna have family, they really need a roof over all of their heads, and they're also going to need to provide food for their family. So what they really want is to get to the highest position. Well, the reason why they get to the highest positions in jobs is because they really see the importance of having this material wealth, because the material wealth for them is not just something material, it's rather what's gonna hold their family. So it turns really important. And this ability of Capricorn to think about the emotion behind of the material things, it really gives them the ability to be able to lead communities. So the really high vibe Capricorns are gonna have their family covered with food and shelter, and not just like their kids, but their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids. Like the whole, like everybody that's coming after them and their children are gonna still have a place to put a house in, because this Capricorn decided to like get a home mountain, right? That's something a Capricorn would do. And and yeah, so in communities they put in systems, and they don't just like take into consideration the material aspect of things. And this is why they're really good planners, is because they're not just gonna see that the thing fits and that we have enough time to fit the thing through wherever it needs to fit, but then Capricorn's also gonna take into consideration who is gonna fit the thing where it needs to fit, and why is that person gonna be motivated to fit that thing through there. So they're able to think about how the flow of things would go in a plan, and pointing out all the possible outcomes, and knowing if a plan is too idealistic and the real humanness of people or environmental situations would not allow for it. So yeah, they're excellent planners. And they are so intuitive, but they're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the magic of synchronicities, because those are subjects of the subtle realm, which are not in the real world where Capricorn spends all its time. So talking to Capricorn about like the magic of synchronicities, or how things like angel numbers or astrology perhaps, or like how the law of attraction works, they see it as a waste of time, because for them it's something that they just have so in them and that they know how to use for them. Because Capricorns, they might not be talking about it, but they really do know how to use that law of attraction, and they really know how that works, like more than the signs that come before it. It's Sagittarius and Scorpio who are trying to figure that out and like use, and they're really good at using it, but they still need to be conscious to use it. Capricorn has it in its subconscious, so they just do it naturally, and they see it as something so given as breathing, or how blood goes through our veins. So like you never really hear people talking about how magical it is to breathe, right? Unless it's one of these people who like work in breath work. But like how magical it is that blood flows through our veins and carries oxygen through our lungs. Yes, it's pretty magical, but you're not gonna hear anyone talking about it, because it just happens automatically, and it's a waste of time to talk about it. Like, better talk what you're gonna put your body, who has all that blood to use. Like, what are you gonna do with that body now that it works? That's Capricorn. Capricorn has a body, and they put that body to work. They're strong. Like, these are physically strong people that will climb mountains, and they might not even feel it. Like, you can find Capricorns hiking and at the top of the mountains, and they're gonna feel pretty happy, because they like conquering things. They like coming, like seeing that their body listened to their willpower and testing that willpower. So yeah, Capricorns will be really good at creating systems that give wealth, not just to themselves and their families, but also to the whole community. And Capricorns would be the sign that is like the most worried, or maybe they don't worry about it consciously, but they really want humanity to prevail. Like, they would be the sign that's like, okay, there's only a few of us left, we gotta keep on reproducing, we gotta maintain the species, you know, like for them it's important to maintain the species, and that's why they think about all the stuff that the species needs. Like, they don't just think about like building a road so their car can go by. They're also thinking about, all right, but cars are going to be going by, but then there's also going to be people who are walking, so we need to build sidewalks. And they take into consideration all these other stuff that humanity as a whole needs. What else can I say about Capricorn? Well, yeah, basically they're wise. They do have a need to create physical and material wellness for themselves and for their families, but that's because they understand that you need this material place to hold all the love that they have and that they're going to want to have and that they're going to want to share with their children eventually. They love children, and they won't, like, Capricorns, we will see Capricorns taking care of their own children, taking care of other people's children, and enjoying it. Like, those are like the people you don't expect because they're really serious, but all of a sudden you see them surrounded with children and they're playing like if they were kids. It's beautiful to see. And there's this behind, like, the dry seriousness, there's this emotion and need to make sure that people are well on an emotional level too, right? They take the soul into consideration. The other earth signs, not so much. The other earth signs are too much into, like, making the material stuff work. Taurus in having a roof over their heads, and Virgo in making sure that the machine is working perfect and it's clean. And then Capricorn comes in here. It's like, yeah, but is the machine happy? So is the machine emotionally fulfilled? So we like that about Capricorn. We also like that they can make plans and that they know and they can foretell if there's going to be, like, the human factor that's going to come in the middle of that plan and, like, ruin it, or if it's going to be something that's going to be good for all the humans. They're super intuitive. They really can read minds, but they're just not thinking about it like the others, like the most spiritual signs, Scorpio and Sagittarius before him, that they want to talk about it and study it so much. No, they don't want to, like, they're not even going to waste their time talking about it because it's such a given, like talking is. And what they really want to talk about is how we're going to make Earth be better than how we found it. Like, Capricorns, if they're going to be somewhere, they're going to improve that place. And they're going to put their heart into improving that place, and they're going to show their value by improving that place. And whenever Capricorn's not feeling right, and whenever they need balance, what they would need to look for in order to get balance is love and nurturing. So they either need to nurture themselves, or they need to be surrounded by people who nurture them. So that when they come home and they, like, or when they finish building a house. Let's say this was the Capricorn project for this one Capricorn. So they built this whole house. Like, they just really want their loved ones to appreciate that. Or they want to see a family in there. Like, maybe they built a house for another family. They want to see that family in there, like, loving and being happy in that house. And that's it. Like, it's basically the sign that wants to provide the material holding for the love that's going to come in. So they're the cup. They're the cup that needs to be filled with water, right? But the water also needs the cup to be able to be held. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sign. It's like, we love Capricorn as much as we love soil for plants to grow, right? So if Capricorn is the soil and progress and whatever project is the seed, Cancer, the opposite sign, is the water. So you need both of them to actually see the sprout. And Capricorn, the way that Capricorn holds energy is able to create all this, like, material abundance, is perfect to hold and to protect the emotional abundance that will be later in there too. Alright, so that's it for me this time for the Capricorn personality description. enjoy this Capricorn season, and give a hug to all your Capricorn friends. Happy birthday, Capricorns. We love you. Keep on. Oh yeah, no wait, sorry, there's more. Capricorns are really, really, because of this leadership ability and way to make plans and taking into consideration the human needs, they're very good at holding political positions and leadership positions. So whenever we have like a board of directors, or whenever we have a government, it's really good to have Capricorns in there. Like, there should be Capricorns in the decision-making offices everywhere. Alright, there's the high vibe and the low vibe, right? The high vibe is the Capricorn that will take into consideration all the soul and all the emotions that they're in charge of, basically. And then the low vibe Capricorn is what we've been seeing lately with Pluto in Capricorn, which is where all the like corruption system, or like the pyramid structures and stuff, that is finishing. Right? So that's like a low vibe Capricorn, but Pluto was there to point it out, and we're not going to see that so much anymore. Well, of course, in an individual level, we're always going to see a lot of everything. But what I mean is that the dark side of Capricorn is when like they're able to climb up the ladder to power, and when they don't use that power kindly, and when they're not thinking about the love that's going to fill the house, but they're just thinking about getting the house and them being the owner of the house. You know, that's like the low vibe. Anyways, no, that's it really. Happy birthday to all the Capricorns, and I'm going to be doing another video for the moon in Capricorn right now that's coming up, and then the Cancer, the opposite of Capricorn, will be coming up.